Untitled Gems podcast. Hail, you're gonna be leading the whole show. This is episode 3, since we fail each week to mention the episode number
Right.
or what the podcast is.
We failed last week to even say our names until
We didn't even say our names. So yeah. I was like, if someone told me, like, let me just kick off properly. Hi, it's Untitled Gems. My name is Malcolm Alexander.
And I'm Ryan Hale. We are back, like Malcolm said, for episode 3.
Yeah.
The third one. Third time's the charm is what they say.
Yeah, 100%. Hale, how are you?
I'm good, man. I had a really good weekend.
What'd you do?
What did I do? Shoot, that's crazy. Now I forgot. I hung out with some friends.
Yes, you have friends.
I saw Shang-Chi finally, which was good. So good.
Bruh.
So
I told you.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway,
you're right.
Anyway.
Really great origin story. So
yes.
That was a dope movie. What else? Oh, I had a shoot yesterday, which was really cool.
Nice.
Shot a hairstyle tutorial video, which was nice. So yeah, man, it was just a fun weekend, productive in a way, but then also got to chill. Had a nice little game night, played some Taboo, which is one of my favorite games. So that was cool. Taboo was a classic game, man.
Taboo was a great game. No, I thoroughly enjoyed Taboo. Taboo was like the OG Cards Against Humanity, I feel like, of what really got people together. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Just, 100%.
Exactly. You really be trying to square up on some Taboo.
Yes.
Depending on the group.
Yes. That or Yahtzee. Like, don't come to me with Yahtzee, bro. Like, if you want good blood between us, don't bring Taboo or Yahtzee around, man. Like, Cards Against Humanity is just fun. There ain't no points to it. You know, with Yahtzee and Taboo, I'm like, I don't care if we family. Like, this is real right now. So
that is too funny.
Love that, man.
Good weekend, bro. How was yours?
Dude, I just got back, as you know, from a mindfulness retreat for the past, like, what feels like a week. I DJ'd a wedding on Monday night. It was a Monday wedding. DJ'd it till midnight, left to the mountains the next morning, and I had no phone or no connection. Even if I had my phone, there was no connection. So right. as you know, Hale was like texting me throughout the week with stories of things happening. So that's why I mentioned he's going to be leading the show today, because I was ducked out. What did Kendrick say? I've been ducking the pandemic. I've been ducking the social demics. I've been ducking the overnight activists. Yeah. All of that is what I was ducking. Just to go a little inward, go deep and see what's going on up here in the mind. And more than anything, I think the beautiful part about the program and what I got to take part in was that this time around I was staffing, and so it's really nice to be able to support and be outward focused. I think being outward focused is one of the best ways to get me, at least, and let me speak responsibly for myself, being outward focused and being able to support others and unconditionally support them helps me get me out of my own shit a lot of times. Just acts of service, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to service others, because then you realize that, hey, my own shit is not exclusive to me, right? I'm not the only one that deals with insecurities. I'm not the only one that deals with trauma. I'm not the only one that deals with depression or anxiety or anything like that. So, it's just really nice to disconnect and do that. And I don't know if a lot of people know that I like doing that kind of work. I believe that life exists with the help of like 4 main things. Like, I think personal development is great, and that's what this was about. I think faith in God and source is crucial. I think therapy is crucial as well. So those are 3. And then yes, medication, because some of y'all need it, me included. And it's okay. And there's no shame on medication, right? And so, like Jenny would say, it's like you got That's Jesus, true. You got medication, you got personal development, you got therapy. You got a quadrant of things that are sure to help your life. And so I just wanted to share with people something that, just one small takeaway from the retreat, if you don't mind, Hale, if I can take some of your time.
Yeah, no, go ahead,
because the listeners have no choice. But shout out to my sister Araz. She actually had this on the wallpaper of her computer. We were just doing some staff work in the back. She was staffing alongside of me as we were there supporting all these students, and she had this big old wallpaper that just had pretty much 2 words on it, and it just said, alignment is greater than productivity. And that's
more than 2 words, though.
Well, it was 2 words, and then had the little symbol. You know what I'm saying? So it was.
I got you.
So it was 2 words and a symbol. Okay, the symbol means greater than.
Okay, got it. Thanks for clearing that up for us.
Yeah, no problem. I just want to make sure that the word choice, the word economy, is still correct here. Alignment over productivity. And I feel like that served as the antithesis of a lot of the work that I was doing while I was gone, which is centered around reality. Centered around perception. And when you take into account that what you think people think of you is what you actually think of yourself.
Mm.
So a lot of people walk around with this anxiety, right? Or this, oh my God, what will they think?
Right.
Or if I do this and I actually live my authentic self, and actually if I go and I do the things that are for my greatest purpose, then Hale's going to think I'm crazy. Hale's going to think I'm mean. Sarah's going to think I'm this, right? What you think people think of you is what you think of yourself.
Mm.
But
That's good.
Back to alignment over productivity, I think that has tons to do with what people think of you. It has tons to do with perception and reality, because when it all comes down to it, what is for you, no man can take you from.
Exactly.
And so many people are obsessed with this whole, like, I gotta grind, no sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like that whole mentality, pardon me, is really tired and it's really toxic. You know, and I think it's really beautiful that when you are fully committed, fully aware of your purpose, and fully aware and give yourself permission to experience that and experience your purpose and experience what God really has you here for, you're not working ever.
Right.
There is no need for hard work. Not to say don't commit yourself to something. Commitment is hard work. But the commitment, the hardest work right here is going to start right in your mind of saying, I'm going to do this.
Yep.
Everything else from there is going to fall into place. It won't feel like work. And it was just really nice to see Araz have that on her computer, because I feel like that's been like a culmination of my life lately. And so I just want to say shout out to the Unfiltered Gems fans and listeners, and shout out to the team. Hail you, Sarah, you, Paige, everybody, right? Because when I was gone, it was like seeing this podcast just moving without me, you know, and the social media and all that kind of stuff. And I think it just really drove home that adage of alignment over productivity, you know, because when it's working right, when it's working right, and when there's good synergy, it's not work. It's just sheer alignment and a sheer purpose. So
exactly.
I had a great week.
That's
and I just feel amazing and I'm recharged. But I came off the mountain to madness. I had no idea what was happening in the headlines. Kelly Price is missing. We might not have an NBA season because of vaccines. Tiger King 2 is coming. Like I don't even know what the hell's going on. So
much.
So hell,
you've been going too long.
Bruh, look, you take 5 days off and here's what happens. So thank y'all so much to everybody that's listening. Follow us everywhere at Unfiltered Gems Podcast. And Hale, if it's all right with you, man, let's get this show started.
Let's do it.
Unfiltered Gems Podcast. Thank you to everybody that is out here listening. One of the biggest stories we want to get down to right now is a larger story on sexual assault. Still a very taboo talking point. It's very hard for me to even speak about it. And while I was away, more news came to light about Nicki Minaj's husband, baby daddy, sexual predator, husband of hers. The week before this, our last episode, we were covering Nicki's smoke screen. And I clap my hands together because it's like, I want you to imagine the chalk. I'm dating myself a little bit. I know some of us didn't grow up with chalkboards, but some of us did, right?
That's true.
You know, you get the two erasers together
with smart boards.
Yeah, the smart boards, right? You know, but like, you know, when you put the erasers together and it creates a smoke screen. I feel like that's what Nicki did with her entire vaccine Twitter debacle, right? With the swollen testicles, right? Because just before she did those tweets on that one day, the 2 days before that, her husband didn't show up to court.
Yeah, it was like less than a week before or something like that. That he accepted a plea deal for failing to register as a sex offender in California.
Whatever happened with Kenneth Petty and his not just accuser, you know, he did it, right? So
convicted.
Convicted, right? So forgive me if I don't have all the legal jargon correct, but I want to make sure that we cover Jennifer Huff is the victim here, and I want to make sure that we paint her as a victor. I do not want to paint her in a negative light by any means when handling and talking about this story. But it's really sad because at this point now, Nicki is calling her a liar. Nicki is saying that what happened didn't exactly happen the way she's saying it. And it's really unfortunate because I think for victims of sexual assault, you now have to relive that trauma.
Right.
You're now having to sit back here, go on national television and defend yourself again.
Exactly.
And I can only merely empathize with how these women are feeling.
Yep.
But I really just admire the courage.
Oh, 100%.
That it's taking
100%.
them to even come forward.
Yeah, I can't imagine
Yeah.
being 16 years old like she was and having to go through this, obviously, before you're even fully mature enough to know exactly what's taking place. You know what I'm saying? So to be 16 years old, held at knife point and sexually assaulted, and then you feel like you thought that you were going to be able to put this to rest once you had the trial or and the conviction takes place or whatnot. And then 20 years later, now all of this stuff is resurfacing because your accuser is now married to one of the biggest artists in the world who decides 20 years later that she wants to kind of throw dirt on your name for what you had to go through at 16 years old. Like I can't imagine that. But like you said, she's more of a victor than a victim because her courage to speak out on this issue and to not run from it and to just really, really show her strength in this whole situation. Like it takes a real strong person to not back down from what somebody did to them at such a young age. You know what I mean? So it's
period.
Yeah. So
I just, it's a wild story that the nuances of it keep getting a little bit deeper. Right. Kenneth Petty, Big Badger's husband, has already served time, and not even for sexual assault, served time for manslaughter.
Yep.
Right. And I get it. I'm all about, stick by your man, stick by your woman through thick and thin.
Before, it wasn't even just manslaughter. That's the crazy thing. Well, he served time for the manslaughter charge. You're right, but it was supposed to be a second degree murder charge that he took a plea bargain to only get manslaughter. So
shout out to our justice system, right?
Don't get me started. Don't even get me started.
Shout out to our justice system, where we are more equipped to defend sexual predators.
Yep.
Than we are fathers, brothers, husbands, sisters, mothers who might, I don't know, just sell weed. I don't know, might just be buying a carton or selling a pack of cigarettes.
It's just ridiculous to me, man. Like, it makes no sense.
We allow more lenience, and more ease for sexual predators, and that's just what it is. And
especially
the fact of the
since
matter,
now we're making money off of weed now. You brought up weed.
Yes.
Yeah, and we got people locked up for decades off of weed
I mean,
charges.
even in Arizona, y'all have legal weed out there too, just like us here in California now. And it's wild to me because, again, still so many dispensaries do you go in and it looks like an Apple store of weed. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't know if you've ever visited, or I know that that's not your MO, but you go into these weed shops now, and it's like an Apple store. You know what I'm saying? If you saw the phone in the cases, now it's just little weed buds, and you have the bud tender bud tender, that's what they're called, right? Not weed man. Bud tender comes through, and well, what are you looking for? You want a head high? You want a body high? Oh yeah, well, this has this percentage of THC and cannabinoids and all this kind of stuff, and it looks so nice. And I will say, at my place that I go to, I do see a lot of Black employees. But when we first saw this wave coming, I think I was so triggered because all you saw in the cannabis space was whiteness. When I'm like, Black people are being locked up consistently still, and are still serving time for petty weed charges from 2 decades ago. So it's like our justice system really is fucked. And again, we know that. I just really want to show solidarity, show support, send healing energy to what I'm going to call victors of sexual assault. And I really just want to admire the courage. In this same context of talking about Kenneth Petty, I'd be remiss if we didn't even touch on R.Kelly, because I don't think we've even brought him up in this podcast, and hopefully
for good reason.
For good reason. I hope, and I really want to say, hopefully that's the last time I even say this
Robert
name. What's his Sylvester? Ew. Yeah. Let's just call him Robert Sylvester. It sounds a little nastier, and
maybe we shouldn't call him that.
Maybe we shouldn't, nasty. But like it just like it is astounding to me how easy, not just for our justice system, it is to defend sexual predators, but how easy it is for women and men alike to put these men up on a pedestal amidst numerous women coming forth. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Fam, we have known R.Kelly for years. We've known what he's done for years. And yet this trial is getting dragged on and dragged on and dragged on. And the accounts of what these women are saying is chilling. But if I can provide any light, in the midst of this story and this coverage of sexual assault. I'm trying to understand how Mr. Robert Sylvester's lawyer had the unmitigated gall to compare him to civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr.
It just makes no sense. Like at that point, she needs to be disbarred. She should have had her license taken right immediately after that trial.
I just don't understand.
I would just love to hear the audio of the full audio. Like what?
Yeah, like what did
how
he say?
How far were you reaching to get to that?
I just want to know. This man has been out here buying McDonald's for the children for 2 decades. Nobody has liberated more black bodies than this man, my client, right here. And the fact that he has not only trafficked them across state lines, but has made sure that they had mildly nutritional meals.
Right.
During
this man is the Happy Meal King.
He is the Happy Meal King, complete with toys. Like what are you saying? Like, I just want to know it. And again, so many women are coming forward.
Happy Meal King. Oh, like Martin Luther King. Like, I just don't even know.
He's the Happy Meal King. Better yet, he's like Martin Luther King Jr.
What? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
It makes zero sense, dude.
I was thinking too, and I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Like if you were a defense attorney, right? Like this was your job, is to defend.
Oof.
What's the word I'm looking for? Offend, people who were charged with crimes or whatnot.
Sure.
Would you be able to? I mean, just knowing who you are today and how we champion victims of sexual assault and all of that stuff, and like you said, we've known about R.Kelly for years. If you were a defense attorney and R.Kelly comes to you to take his case, could you do that knowing this is like technically your job, or would you say no, I couldn't do this because of what I believe in?
But again, law is cutthroat. Yeah. There's one of those lawyers defending R.Kelly, there's 10 others. You cut one head off, it's like you cut one head off, 3 more grow back. I promise you, there are people prepping that defense right now. Think of the people that have been able to defend Donald Trump against anything and everything that he's done in the past 5 years.
Money is
3-4 decades.
Evil. Money is the root of all evil.
There is always somebody else that'll be there to defend you, and the best part is for even less money.
True.
Like,
sad,
so
true.
Would I be able to do it? Hell to the no. I couldn't even. What would I say? I would sound like what we just sounded like in the court. He's the Happy Meal King. He's like Martin Luther King. I rest my case. Thank you, Your Honor. That is the extent of what I'd be able to say.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'd have to pull. I mean, look, we can bullshit all day. That wouldn't a reach wouldn't even be able to describe that. That would be hard as hell. It wouldn't be hard. It wouldn't be. How could you do that and go to sleep at night?
That's what I was thinking. That would be hard.
With nephews, with a girlfriend, with a wife, with a sister, with friends. What? Go to sleep at night being able to defend that son of a bitch? Hell no. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I couldn't do it either. I was just thinking like, I'm trying to take myself out of the equation. And Sarah, our producer, brought up the OJ trial, and that's another good one. I mean, and OJ's lawyers, I mean, they went down as some of the, Johnny Cochran is looked at one of the greatest lawyers of all time.
Sure.
But
the glove don't fit.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like, I think the difference between it is like there is an art to that as a defensive attorney, is to trying to, to get them off. That's your job. But then it's like a moral code too. Like morally, like you said, if you can't sleep at night, then why would you do that? So I think it takes some, I'm not going to say cold-hearted, but it takes some very tough-minded individuals to be defensive attorneys, especially for cases like that, because I don't think I could do it.
Well, and the R. Kelly case is happening in New York City right now. That's where that's going down. And there's a lot of intricacies and nuances as to why it's happening in New York City and not any other state. But New York, and I'm speaking to the people of New York, you guys are plenty familiar with leadership being sexual predators. Of course, we're talking about Cuomo.
Chris?
Andrew.
Okay, the governor, Andrew.
Wait, which one?
The governor's name is Andrew Cuomo.
No,
but Chris Cuomo just got
Chris Cuomo's the governor.
Okay.
Wait, are you serious?
Chris Cuomo was not the governor.
Chris Cuomo's the governor.
It's not.
Hell, I will reach to the screen to fight you. Chris
Look
Cuomo.
Look it up. Look it up.
I ain't got no internet to look it up. I do got internet to look it up.
You think you're still on the mountain now?
I look. Oh, damn. Chris Cuomo is the anchor.
Damn it. Exactly.
Okay. Andrew Cuomo's the one that got nipple rings.
I didn't even know that.
I promise you. This man is a freak.
Yeah, Andrew Cuomo's the governor, and he just resigned for his sexual assault stuff. Yeah.
And again, numerous women, and not just women, men as well.
Yeah. But the reason why I thought it was Chris Cuomo is because a report just came out last week from his former boss saying that he grabbed and squeezed her butt at a party. So he's being accused of sexual harassment as well.
But I'm telling you, I've been hearing smoke from the Cuomo family for years, dude. Like I have friends that just live in New York and that love to be like, oh no, like
I can't even lie, man.
He pops up at the parties if you catch my drift.
Yeah,
at the functions, at the parties.
Yeah,
you know,
I can't lie. I thought Chris was I thought he was gonna get an invite to the barbecue. He'd be up there with Don Lemon.
Oh, because Don Lemon's the one giving out cookout passes.
He's not.
Don Lemon still can't even get fully back into getting to the cookout.
He right.
With his beige ass.
Right.
Excuse me. What? He's not the one to be giving out passes to the cookout with his beige ass. He ain't the one to be giving out passes to the cookout. And I love that he got black after George Floyd. George Floyd happened, and this motherfucker got black on CNN. But before that, you was in Ferguson talking about the protest is going crazy. There's obviously a smell of weed in the air. Nigga, what?
No, I wasn't saying that Don Lemon was giving out the pass. I was saying Chris has said some good stuff in defense of black people and in defense of, he said some good stuff on his show about black causes and stuff like that. That's what I was saying. Not because of Don Lemon.
That's nice. And R. Kelly's close to Martin Luther King. Like, I care about you saying some nice things about black people.
You're right.
Because, again, your actions show way more.
Yeah.
And all those things that you said about black people could be cool and all, but if you're a sexual predator, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't need your help on my black ass front.
Yeah. 100%.
You can go inquire and ask a couple other black people how they feel. I don't need Chris Cuomo's help though. I'll say that, and I don't think a lot of black people need our help. We don't need any more white saviors.
No, absolutely not.
We don't need any more white people saying because
we've seen how that's gone. We ain't saved.
We're not. So it's like, again, it's nice if you want to say something. Gee, thanks.
Right.
But again, where's your money? Where are your ears? Where are your helping hands to a community that really needs it? Because you're still covering these billionaires going to space, and niggas still out here hungry.
Right. Well, speaking of a woman then who would definitely, or the cookout, speaking of a woman who would get a pass to the cookout for sure, is Joy-Ann Reid.
Man, right now,
you heard what she said last week.
She getting, quite frankly, she's getting an invite to the yams touching the collard greens and the mac and cheese.
Quite frankly, all the invites.
She getting an invite, and I'm a prepare a plate personally for her.
Personally.
It's not just like, oh, you can come on, Auntie Joy. No. You can come. I'm gonna make you a plate, and quite frankly, I'll make it to go plate. I'll make you one wrapped in foil with a note on it. You can take it on back.
Yeah, we're gonna put it in the grocery bag
and put it in the grocery bag. And look, I'll hook it up for Miss Joy-Ann Reid, man. Who was shedding a lot of light.
Yep.
On, I don't think just like whiteness,
right?
But in the case of what we're seeing, we're also not just seeing a lot of sexual assault lately, and I think erasure of victors and accusers. But Joy-Ann Reid brought up a very beautiful point, in a talking point about missing white woman syndrome on her program.
Talking about the Gabby Petito situation that's going on,
where it is very easy for the news media to rally behind a missing white woman amidst a culture of, Joy Reid, right? Are we saying Joy-Ann, or there's an Ann at the end of her name?
I thought it was Joy-Ann. You're right. You might be right. Joy Reid. Sorry,
Joy Reid.
Yep.
Pardon
Joy
us
Reid.
to the Queen.
Reid. Yeah.
So it is Joy-Ann. Yeah, Joy-Ann Reid. That's what I thought of the young sister.
I don't think it's Joy-Ann.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
Oh wait, actually, it is. I don't know.
I know what it is. because our brother works for her. I know.
Right. Yeah.
I know.
Shout out to our brother too.
Shout out to our brother John. Come on now, just doing God's work.
Oh yeah, it is. It's Joy Ann Reed. Yep.
Yeah, Joy Ann Reed. I know what it is.
I know it wasn't tripping.
I know. But it's wild because in a world we are so easily equipped to bring tons of attention to when a white woman goes missing, or unlike when day in on day out on Twitter, on Instagram, we're seeing missing person reports of Black and brown and indigenous women all the time, and nothing happens.
Yeah,
Chris Cuomo's not covering it. He might be talking about some Black shit so he can get invited to cookout, but look, you know what I'm saying. But Chris Cuomo's not covering it. I don't see. I don't expect Fox to cover it, right? But like, no one's covering it. All we see is our community putting tweets up, putting Instagram posts up, and just saying, "Hey, find my daughter, find my sister, find my auntie, find all that." And so, I at one point saw where Joy Ann Reed's comments were a little done in just poor timing. I think Gabby Petito's family is still grieving, and they're always going to be grieving.
That's what I was about to say.
So it's hard. However, those kind of statements at the end of the day do not distract or take away from a family grieving. They don't distract from the fact that this woman is no longer here. And I think it does still shine a greater light on how us as a community can make sure that we band together to assure that there's equal equity and accountability for all people, and especially women and young women when they do go missing. Because again, it's so easy for us to just be so entertained about this husband took, or fiance took her across country, now she's missing, and then she's found dead. But again, stuff like this is happening all the time.
That's true,
especially to Black and indigenous women. And I think it was really great because there was an article that was kind of written in response to Joy Ann Reed, where all they asked for was, if you're going to say that, could you also give repass for a list of people who are still missing so we can make sure that we're doing our part. And so there was an article, I'll see if I can find the link post-pod to share on our social media, but it is a directory of just women, and a lot of indigenous women. It's very sad.
It is very sad.
Gone missing.
Yeah.
Because the jurisdiction on
and
reservations
honestly,
is going to be completely different than it is on a federal level. It's so sad that
but it's not even,
we can't cover them all.
Right. It's not even just women though, too. It's 100%. Like it's men that are going missing.
There was that brother who had the blue Jeep in Arizona.
In Arizona?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
He was at the Grand Canyon.
Yep.
And he lived in Tucson, no?
I don't know where exactly it was.
Oh my God. And so that's what I'm saying. It's really not. It's not, it's like we can make it about missing white women syndrome and, covering Black women. But dude, there are Black boys going missing.
And it's just sad because we as a Black people feel we feel a lot more comfortable to go to Black Twitter or to social media to put up these missing persons posts than we do go into the system, because lots of times we feel like the system, like we always talk about, doesn't work for us. It doesn't help us as much. So I understand what Joy Reid was talking about. And like you said, it is 100% true. People can argue the timing, but it doesn't take away from the reality of what's going on and what we've been seeing when it comes to missing persons in our community versus the white community. So
and time is everything, and just the way in which it's said is everything as well. I remember when Nipsey passed and seeing some of the thought leaders and some of the writers starting to post up, like, again, but Nipsey was also inherently homophobic and said a lot of things, and they were, and again, there was a lot of people, especially here in LA, that were just like we're still grieving over Nipsey. I think that still feels like the glitch in the matrix of, like, I think Nipsey and Kobe are still like the two things that are just like LA is trying to figure out, like, was it supposed to happen exactly like this, but it did, right? Of timing, right? And it was like, yeah, we know he was homophobic, but can we talk about this later? Can we do this on another day? Timing is everything, but it needs to be said. And I think at the end of the day, Joy's heart is in the right place. I think she's doing an incredible work up there at MSNBC. And I think for even bringing that to light, again, missing white woman syndrome is not a new thing. The term has been coined over
somebody on PBS a long time ago.
Like Gwen Ifill, actually.
Yes.
Met her when we were at Cronkite, and God rest her soul. Gwen Ifill is the reason a lot of Black people can even see journalism as a career. But she coined that term, right? And so again, this isn't something new at all, but it's something that is best for the community by simply saying, here's one case of a missing person, and here's how the privilege is shown in this case. Mm-hmm. Let's apply that precedent elsewhere.
Yeah, me personally, and maybe I'm just too cold, I didn't see nothing wrong with the timing because it wasn't. I didn't think that it was anything disrespectful that she said about Gabby and her situation and stuff like that. Like, they're still shining so much light on that situation.
Yeah,
like every channel in the world is shining light on that, including the one that she works for. She was just saying why we are shining light on this situation. Let's not forget about missing white people syndrome and all the other Black people that are out here missing, and people of color who are out here missing and dealing with missing persons reports who don't get the same kind of response and following.
Yes.
I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes, like me and Malcolm, we've talked about this before. Sometimes that radical language or that radical aggressive language is needed at times like these, because like if it was on an off day when it wasn't a big story like this, it may have not been so widely reported on or received. Exactly.
If this would have happened when there was no missing person, it would have been a story, and no one would have talked about it. It's like what we're doing
another Black person,
another Black person just talking about how life ain't fair.
Exactly.
So it happened the way it had to happen. And again, I'm just going to show love and show support and send love to a grieving family and community and friends of Gabby Petito.
100%.
And of a lot of other victims that we're still figuring out. There's families right now that still don't know where their kids are, or where their family members are. Don't even know if they're alive or dead, right? Like just generally don't know. And it's just grave, it's dark, it's sad. But I see the work that Joanne Reed's doing. I see the work that we're gonna do to amplify marginalized voices. And so I think with that, I want to move on to Kelly Price. Because in a light note, Kelly Price has been found.
Long time. I was never missing. I was in my home. I was being seen by doctors. First and foremost, with two people in the house with COVID, we both had COVID. There was no visiting. There was no visiting the house. We both had active COVID cases. Everyone in my family knew exactly where I was. And I have to say that it's really disappointing that things came to this, but it was not true. And even when it comes to my daughter, I feel like she was easily.
That was Kelly Price, for those who do not know, talking to TMZ, I think yesterday, because there was a missing persons report for her over the weekend, supposedly filed by her sister. But Kelly said in that interview that they have been strained for a long time now. They hadn't even been in the same room for over a year. And so she's not sure exactly why her sister went about it like that, but that she was never missing at all. And that she was battling COVID and a serious COVID case that she had. Supposedly, unfortunately, she flatlined. Yep. Flatlined in the hospital for, I don't know how long.
Is Miss Kelly Price, she is a religious zealot. We love her.
Well, I have no idea.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, I do not know.
I'm just curious. Like, if it really beat her ass like that, I'm just, I'm taking.
I would think that
devoutly religious. I'm just looking at the Venn diagram here. Very religious. COVID kicked her ass. The middle part would say probably doesn't have a vaccine.
But yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I do not know the status.
I hope if she does not have it, that she decides to get it. But the only thing is, once you have COVID, if you're not vaccinated,
you got the antibody, you're good. Yeah,
you gotta wait like 60 days or something before
you gotta wait. I'm just figuring, like, I would think that more like gospel singers, despite whatever religion, and I want to know, what is the religious argument?
That's what I was about to say.
I have a lot of people bowing out of the vaccine
on religion.
Like, what are you citing? Like, what is God saying? What's the Bible saying? Yeah. What are religious leaders saying is in it? Like, Mark of the Beast? Is that what we're being told?
Man, I can't even speak on it. I go to church every week, but I ain't heard nothing like that. So that's what kills me when I keep seeing
I know you can't talk about what happens in the cult, but like, what?
Oh, man, ain't no cult. Oh, he tripping today.
Like,
he's tripping today.
But I want to know, like, because I've heard people, or like I have people that were like somehow they're like religious leaders and they were giving out the religious exemptions to their clients, and I'm like, what is a religious exemption to like I just want to know the grounds of what you're citing, like you know what I'm saying, like
honestly have no
what
idea.
are you basing it off of? Like, well, in Jeremiah they said in this year 2021, if a needle is gonna, because and the Bible's all symbolic. People, like, you can't take nothing like word for word, right? Everything's all a symbol. The snake is everything's a metaphor, right? And so I'm just like, I want to know what was said in the Bible that is telling people, or what is being said at these churches that are telling people, like, because I've had Catholics come to me and be like, yeah, I'm not gonna get that shit. It's against my religion. What about it? It's against your religion. I just want to know, like, like we spent the first part of this podcast talking about sexual assault, and yet you also put up the churches. Like, what about, like, there it's the hypocrisy for me. Just want to know a little bit more. It's just very, very, very strange. We'll be talking a little bit more on vaccines later. But I am glad to know that Kelly Price is found and that she's okay, and I hope that her family is okay, and I hope that she is able to anoint a burgeoning church crowd very soon. I feel closer to God when I hear Kelly Price. I really want to play what was the Kanye lowlights. Oh yeah, I'm crying now. Like, I love, man, when I get a devotional from Kelly Price, man, I just,
that was one of my least favorite.
Really? I love that shit. Oh, I'm crying now.
I didn't know what that was.
Just Kanye being Kanye.
I know it's called low lights, but I had that on super low. Like, solo, you can't hear it.
You can't hear it. I'm weak. Look, we got to take a quick break. Thank you all so much for rocking here with Unfiltered Gems. Of course, following us everywhere at Unfiltered Gems Podcast. Thank you all so much to the people that are sharing the promos and engaging with us. We want to know how you feel about the pod, so leave us reviews and message us. All of it really helps. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back.
Do you like incredible musical performances and engaging conversations? Well, we've got both of those things for you right here at Mental Notes Live, the talk show focused on giving you tools to grow your faith, mindset, and progress. Hosted by yours truly, Ryan Hale. Be sure to follow us everywhere on any social media platform at Mental Notes Live, and go catch up on all of our previous episodes by visiting mentalnoteslive.com.
Carol Baskin killed her husband, whacked him. Can't convince me that it didn't happen. Fed them to tigers, they snacking. What's happening?
Carol Baskin.
Oh,
I love it. For those who do not know, Carol Baskin is one of the main characters in the quarantine hit show on Netflix. Tiger King came out last year, but Tiger King 2 is supposedly premiering in November on Netflix, and Tiger King was one of my favorite shows over quarantine.
Are you serious?
You didn't watch it?
No.
Oh my God.
I thought.
Oh my goodness.
I thought at the Black Agenda meeting we said we weren't gonna fuck.
No, we did not. No, we did not. Because I know a lot of black people that watch Tiger King.
Wait. I'm sorry. Wait, you really watched that shit,
bro? Yes, I watched it and I enjoyed all of it. And that show is crazy. Those people are crazy. Those people are really crazy. They out here.
You probably watched Tiger
rolling
King
around playing with some tigers.
You probably watched Tiger King for the same reason I like watching Succession, because ain't nothing better than watching rich white people just like self-sabotage themselves in a nuclear family. It's like, wow, even with all the money in the world, y'all still go kill each other.
Oh my gosh. I mean, how can you not watch a show where the main character's name is Joe Exotic? I mean, this guy.
Because I saw him and I was just like, no. I'm actually okay.
That dude was really crazy. That's what's wild. And he's in jail still.
Yeah, I'm like, he's still in jail, right?
He was trying to get pardoned by Trump too before Trump left office. But yeah,
I remember, and there was all the reports like taking him up until like Trump's last days. Like, nope, Joe Exotic is still locked up.
Joe was trying to get up out of it. He was trying to get back in there with them tigers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I guess Tiger King 2 was shot at the end of 2020, top of 2021. So I don't know what they're gonna center that one around, but that show was crazy. So
wasn't Carol Baskin on Dancing with the Stars during quarantine?
Yep. Carol was out there. Carol was crazy too. I can't front. So
Carol,
they said Carol killed her husband. So
Carol killed her husband.
Fed him to the tigers.
What I will say is that I'm familiar with the Tiger King story. It's only been like spoiled by anyone and everybody for me. And the evidence definitely points to the fact that Carol Baskin killed her husband.
I mean, she fed him to the tigers.
Damn. But honestly, that's a really good way to dispose of a body. I just never really thought of it that way. Not saying that I've ever heard of killing somebody, but yeah, it's a terrible way to die. But I'm like, you ever think about like if you had to get away with murder, you had to get away with murder?
Nope, I really never thought about it.
I like the show How to Go with Murder. You know what I'm saying? So you just think about like, how do you dispose of a body? And I'm like, if I feed it to the tigers, there might be a little bit of blood, but other than that, though, I mean, like at least the whole body is like,
it would be disposed of.
It would be disposed of. You know what I'm saying? It beats terrible. Breaking Bad, putting the body into the. Yeah, I know you watch Breaking Bad.
Yes. Goodness, that was disgusting. Ugh,
you know what I'm
my
saying?
Least favorite part of the show.
Well, look, okay.
So if you weren't watching Tiger King, what were you watching?
Thank you. During quarantine. If I wasn't watching Tiger King, what I was watching during quarantine was Lovecraft Country.
Oh, I've heard. I never watched it though.
That show, I rewatched it literally like before I went on my trip.
I just look. It looked too sci-fi for me.
But you watch Marvel stuff.
Yeah, I know. Somebody just told me that the other day.
If you,
it doesn't look the same.
It's not. It's definitely not. It's like definitely not the same. Like I will make that very, very clear. It's definitely not like just because it's not a Pandora station where like if you like Shang-Chi,
yeah, exactly.
You'll love Lovecraft Country. There is actually not a lot of overlap.
Did you see Black Panther? Well,
yeah. Did you see Black Panther? Well, you're gonna like Lovecraft Country. It's not the same show. But it's like I just love really good entertainment that has Black people in it. Because it's just way easier for me to just identify the stories. Maybe that's why. Like I just didn't see any of myself in the Tiger King story. So I'm like, what am I watching this for outside of like really just wanting some mind-numbing shows to watch? That would have been all it served for. And I know that that's the purpose that it served for a lot of people. You want to put something on to just like get out of it.
I watched it because it was crazy. I love real life documentary type series that is just. You see some of the craziest stuff like this. The story on that, it was just wild to me. So that's what intrigued me about it. But okay, I've heard about Lovecraft Country. Another show I watched that I really enjoyed is Ozark. That was one of my favorite shows.
I need to get into Ozark. It started off too slow.
It does start off slow.
I tried getting into season 1 and it just like
it starts off slow, but if you push through, trust me.
If you push through, just the payoffs there. And I love Jason Bateman. Like
me too.
That's the man. That's the man right there. I love Jason Bateman.
Great actor.
Another one of my quarantine shows that I adored, Watchmen.
Watchmen was classicic.
Watchmen was a classic. Like shout out to show. Regina King. I'm gonna say it again. Man. Shout out to Regina King because I just love her. She's just like she's great. Another one of your shows.
Hunters. I don't know if you watched that. It was on Amazon Prime. It starred. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad that I'm forgetting this guy's name. He's a big famous actor too.
I didn't even hear about it.
It was starring Al Pacino. Goodness gracious.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Al Pacino was the main character in that show. But it was a really, really good show about a group hunting Nazis. And it had a spin on it. It was really good. Tiffany Boone was in it as well. I don't know if you know Tiffany Boone. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
It was a good show.
I'm looking at it right now. I'm gonna have to check that out. That looks like something I'd really be into. Mm-hmm. Another one of my shows during quarantine, I'm just gonna involve them all into one. Anything that the MCU dropped was just perfect. So yes, from WandaVision to Loki to What If to Captain or Falcon Winter Soldier,
like, all of those were classics.
All like every single one was perfect. What If is the animated right now is great. Like What If all these things didn't happen. I'm loving that. And I'll keep it in comics. Invincible on Amazon.
Yes. Prime. Oh my gosh, Invincible was so good.
Okay, thanks, bro. Okay,
so
but oddly enough, if you like Invincible, I think you would like Lovecraft Country. Not the same show at all. I'm so sincere, but if you're gonna say like you got down with Invincible, then bro, get in with Lovecraft Country, and you're gonna love it.
I might try it.
It is a little trauma, but it's retribution through sci-fi, which is really, really great. We only ever see like Black sci-fi stories told through very white lenses. I feel there's still always gonna be some air of like a white savior or like white people's involvement in a space that really there was no involvement. Mm-hmm. Lovecraft Country is like a reclamation of like Afrofuturism, of Black sci-fi. It's just great to imagine these stories and what we know of H.P. Lovecraft as the author that is incredibly racist and xenophobic, but to have a Black person take the story and and put this in cinema R.I.P. to Michael K. Williams. Jonathan Majors is incredible. Journey Smollett is incredible. Like every single one of the characters is just serves a pivotal role. Hale, I promise you, if you watch Lovecraft Country, it's only 8 episodes, bro. You can get through it this week. If you watch it, you would love it so much. You might want to make episode 4 of Unfiltered Gems literally Lovecraft Country episode. I'm so sincere. It is so good. It is so good.
I was trying to check it out.
And like I promise,
if I can get through it.
No, I'm serious. You're gonna put episode 1 on and just be like, done. If episode 1 doesn't hook you, go to episode 2. If you're not hooked by episode 1 or 2, then look. I'm serious. If you're not hooked by episode 1 or 2, leave.
Okay.
Leave. And I'll say, got it, Hale. It's not for you. Point blank. Period. If you are not sucked in by episode 1 and 2, but bro, it's 8 episodes of perfect television.
I'm gonna check it out. I gotta shout out my favorite sports related show during the quarantine.
The Shop.
The Last Dance.
Just kidding.
Huh? The Show. Oh my god. The Last Dance.
The Shop is sports related.
Yeah, it is, but that was not a quarantine show.
Was it? Was it not? Did it before?
The Last Dance. The Last Dance was really, really good.
Michael Jordan doc. Yes.
Yep. That was a classic.
100%. I actually watched a clip of that.
Okay. Yeah, that was good. You should have watched the whole thing, but you'd have been lost. So
nope, would have been blue lost.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, another show I want to shout out to. Shout out to King Bears, Black AF. That was another good show.
Really?
You didn't like it? I thought that show was funny.
Did nothing for me.
Wow.
It felt like black comedy written by him for a white audience. It was the jokes literally were so cringy to me. Like he related everything back to slavery oftentimes, and I feel like it was him making something to get I don't know, to get a good on you from white people. Like all the black jokes were low hanging fruit black jokes. like
I didn't feel like that.
And
maybe I'm just too much of a Rashida Jones fan to really pay too much attention to it.
And I adore her. I adore Rashida Jones. I do. All day, but just the jokes, all of them felt flat. Like I was not laughing at it. It just felt like all of it was like, these are the jokes that white people think that we're making about them all the time. like none of the jokes were like complex, or not saying that I'm constantly looking for complex jokes, but it's like I like a show when it can just be black and like a Black Lady Sketch Show. So if you're gonna shout out Black AF, I'm gonna shout out Black Lady Sketch Show, and I'm sure you love it. I'm not saying that if you like one, but I'm just like Black Lady Sketch Show again. It's like all
that was truly funny.
And it's just truly funny because it's like none of those jokes.
Very different show.
Very different show. But again, like all those jokes are like written by black people for black people, right? We're watching it. I'm like, I'm sure like other people that aren't black are going to get the jokes, but like you probably don't like, there was just so much nuance to the joke, right?
Right.
That like by the time I'm done laughing, the beautiful part is like, I felt like I was laughing with me and my people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like the Hertep, like HBO, what is that? He buys and oppresses us. Like, just like, I love the Hertep. Like, and again, white people or like people that are not black are not going to understand the nuance of that.
Yeah.
And I feel like all the jokes through all the episodes of Black AF were just like slavery jokes. We're just like low hanging fruit black jokes that I feel like, white people could be like, exactly. That's kind of funny, right? Like, I don't know. I thought it didn't drive the conversation forward. Not saying that I'm looking at every black show to like drive the conversation of black equity and liberation forward. Like, if you're going to make me laugh and it's going to be a black show, like give me blackness. Don't give me blackness for white people. And I just feel like a lot of those jokes fell flat to me for Black AF. I just didn't really enjoy the show really at all.
Gotcha. Well, to the audience out there listening, we'd love to know what your favorite quarantine shows were.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully you like Black AF more than Malcolm. If not, let us know what else you like more than that and what you were watching. So either leave us a comment on Unfiltered Gems podcast on our social media platforms. Shoot us a DM, a message. Let us know what you think. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a second.
The new Studio 54 is here, y'all. If you love disco music, house music, funk, R&B, all of those genres are played and they go crazy at Capacity Dance Party. Hosted and curated by myself, Malcolm Alexander, every single party features one of LA's best DJs and myself spinning nothing but the best dance music around, spreading across all decades. So, to get info and tickets on the next Capacity Dance Party, head over to capacitydanceparty.com and follow us on social media at Capacity Dance Party.
Dave from Basketball Digest. Kevin, KD, why do people call you KD? Can I call you KD? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
My first name is Kevin.
Right.
And my second name, my last name. My second name. My last name is Durant with a D.
KD. This year, what percentage do you plan on giving on the court? 90, 95, 100, 110? What are we looking at?
110.
110.
What are we looking at? 100, 195, 110?
I love David Letterman, man. I really do.
David Letterman is great. He could do no wrong. I love him. But yeah, NBA season is kicking off. That was David Letterman trolling Kevin Durant at NBA Media Day today with the Brooklyn Nets. And speaking of the Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant's star teammate, Kyrie Irving, has been one of the many players in the NBA speaking out, or not necessarily speaking out, but saying that they are not planning to get vaccinated.
Wait.
Before the season starts.
Uncle Drew?
Yeah, Uncle Drew. Uncle Drew ain't getting it.
Hold on a minute.
I love Uncle Drew. Damn, I have no context of sports for Kyrie Irving, but like Uncle Drew, dude. That movie had a really dope soundtrack. I don't know if people say that.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
But the soundtrack,
I never listened to it.
No, bro, run it back, bro. Like incredible features from like some of your favorite artists. Like I'm serious. Like the whole album is really, really good. I've even seldom seen the movie. I didn't think Kyrie Irving would be one of them.
Kyrie is actually a very, what's the right word to put for Kyrie? He's a very unique individual.
No, how about you give me this is called Untitled Gems. Just give it to me real.
That is real. He's a unique guy. He's a different guy. He has a very different thought process. Like he's one of the flat earthers.
Okay, so that's not unique. This nigga might be a little crazy. We can call it what it is. He's talented, but okay, I'm sorry. Flat earther and anti-vaxxer. The Venn diagram for crazy motherfucker just fills in, right?
Stupid. Right. Kyrie wasn't able to come to media day today because of
he didn't get
what I believe like the COVID protocols or something like that. But he did have his media day via Zoom and was asked about the vaccine and said that he would like to keep that private. He would like to keep that status private. But pretty much Kyrie, and there's several other players in the NBA right now, Andrew Wiggins. Those two players specifically are in cities where there are vaccine mandates right now. If you know, New York, San Francisco. So some of those teams who play there may have to avoid playing home games, or those players may have to avoid playing home games if they're not vaccinated and trying to play in that specific city.
What do you think this is going to mean for the future of the NBA, Hell? I really want to know. I mean, like, I think with money, anything is possible, and I just feel like we're going to have this vaccine hesitancy shit for the next year and some change.
That's true.
Up until the point that all these mandates go away. I think maybe I don't share that enough. I think we're going to see all these mandates hit temporarily. I think maybe for a year, maybe 2 years, and then
you think they're going to just?
It's all going to subside.
You think?
I don't know. I hope. I'm not a virologist. I'm not a epidemiologist. I don't know. But like, what's going to happen? Like, I don't know. Is Kyrie going to get to play?
Not in Brooklyn. If he does not get vaccinated. It's a mandate for the state, so it's not. It's above the NBA at this point. It's
100%. 100%. Yeah.
So he can still play in the NBA, but not in his home state for the team. Same with Andrew Wiggins, who tried to get a religious exemption. So to answer your question, for the state of the NBA, it may look very, very different because I don't know how many people are going to get vaccinated. And from what it sounded like, there is a lot more anti-vaxxers out there in the league currently than people may think. And a lot of people are, like we talked about earlier, trying to state religious reasons. And
what are the religious reasons?
Yes, we're going back to this. I have no idea.
I just want to know. I
like Jonathan Isaac plays for the Orlando Magic, and he's supposed to be let me not say supposed to. Well, yes, he's supposed to be big into his faith and everything like that. But he was the only black person in the bubble that didn't take a knee for black people. talking about.
I don't want to point.
I don't want to point a finger at one
black
group of people.
Anti-vaxxer, the Venn diagram.
But listen to his reasoning. He's saying that I started studying Black history and watching Donald Trump's press conference, and I don't trust Dr. Fauci. So, yeah, he said he put a faith in God and people might die from the vaccine and all this stuff. Me too. Me too. It's just nothing to say at this point. And I'm just wondering, like you said, what is that going to look like for the NBA? Because this is going to be the first time ever in NBA history where the stars of the team may not be able to play the home games. And that's going to affect season ticket sales, things like that. Like season ticket holders.
How about like just overall team integrity?
True. That's another thing.
I like, and we talk about this a lot. Sports to me, whatever. Mindset of athletes is something that I just study, right? Mm-hmm. Mindset of a team is what I study as well. And who is Seattle Seahawks coach?
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll. Actually studied him in some of my personal development work because actually he puts all his teams through rigorous personal development and team integrity work before they even hit the field. Yeah. He said, if we can't win a game off the field, we damn sure as hell can't win it on the field.
Right.
And I love that, right? Because it's like even Tom Brady and the Patriots, right? One of the more winning teams in the NFL. Correct me if I'm wrong, mm-hmm. right? There comes a point at which all these teams, whether NBA, NFL, MLB, skill-wise and talent-wise, we're all about the same. Sure, you can say LeBron might be a little bit better than Kyrie or right, at playing their position or whatever it is, right? But what wins a game isn't going to be the actual talent or the skill, because it's going to be pretty even at the end of the day. You're on the, you're in the NBA. You're talented enough, right? Mm-hmm. It's the winning mindset and it's team integrity, a winning team integrity that says when we're in the locker room, we're going to go out there and we're going to win no matter what.
Right.
I'm here to support you unconditionally, teammate. I'm here to receive support from you unconditionally. I'm here to talk to you. I wonder how this riff in people getting a vaccine, because I feel like I'd be one of those players at the end of the day, like, nigga, I'm just here to ball and make my money. Like, teammate,
so you're saying
together?
So you're saying that you would be the teammate saying, like, get it together and get vaccinated so we
like, get it together. Like, let's go.
Right.
But again, I want to know how me playing a part on this team, how can I let's say you're Kyrie in this and I'm one of the other players. You know what I'm saying? Or is Kevin Durant on it? And so he's playing, so he's back. Okay, so I'm Katie and you're Kyrie, right? I'm figuring out how I serve a role in you not being able to play. If we are a team and if we agreed to do this shit together as a team, I'm looking at how I play a part and how I have played a part and how I can play a part in supporting you and supporting this entire team.
So in supporting him as far as his decision to not get vaccinated, or supporting him and helping him realize the importance of getting vaccinated and how that can help the team?
Whatever will.
Whatever.
And I don't know if that's even going to be a vaccine. I don't know if that is the entire Brooklyn Nets team, if that means leadership going to the commissioner, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's not going to change anything because it's not an NBA thing. Because it's state mandated.
Exactly.
It would be one thing if it was the NBA's rule that every player be vaccinated, but this is only affecting a couple or two or three states.
Because maybe what I would love to see is like either what would actually show the coolest thing to me, and maybe saying this is a little divisive, but I genuinely feel it. I would love to see an entire team, because they care about each other, regardless of vaccination status. I'd love to see a whole team say we're just not going to play.
No, it's stupid to me.
It's stupid. But how can we all support each other in winning and actually making a change here? And again, I'm not saying it's for the better. I'm not saying like that the change is for the better, right? People are dying out here, and vaccines are saving lives. Like I believe that over there, but I'm saying it's like, how if I'm KD or if I'm just a member of the team and I'm vaccinated and you're not, we are not winning as a unit. This entire unit, this team unit, is out of integrity. So it's like, what does it mean for all of us as teammates to be on the same winning accord? And so if that means like some playing and some not, I don't know if that's like me supporting you, or I don't know if that's you supporting me. But if we all bowed out and said, look, as the
Well, it's
Brooklyn
not,
Nets,
but I think
we
that
ain't
would
gonna play.
be. I think that is more of a thing for when they were in the bubble talking about protesting the game. That's more of what I think your stance is on.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah,
This
like I said,
this is
it's a medical
that,
issue,
though.
and so people are dying, and it is different, right? And it really is.
Because it's like all of us have. I don't know how many of them have been vaccinated, but let's just say everybody at media today, which is the majority of the team, is vaccinated. And you are not able to be with the team because you're choosing to not get vaccinated. So now, instead of us all not playing because we're, at this point, if we're not playing, it's because we're looking like we're anti-vaxxers or whatever. It's not even going to look as supporting a teammate. And what are you supporting him because of at that point? Because it's not like the NBA is doing anything to him.
Yeah.
It's literally the state.
100%. And it's not. But again, I'm playing an integral part of the team. I'm looking at, because it's not just Kyrie on the team that's probably not vaccinated. I'm sure there's others.
I don't know.
You know,
that's
we
don't
know.
Thing. I don't.
We
know.
don't know. But so I'm just going to apply this generically. Let's take it to the Miami Heat. Let's take it to the, you know what I'm saying? Let's take it to the Bucks, whatever it is. As a team, we are either in it together or we're not. And I'm at one of those leadership roles where if we ain't right, I don't even want to touch the court.
That's not realistic, though.
It's not realistic.
That's not realistic.
Because
now you're not only affecting my ability to play, you're affecting my livelihood because of your own personal decision that is affecting millions across the world, like we've already touched on.
Sure.
So I think this is bigger than if we're in it together type of thing. Like, it's on you at this point. Are you with us or you're not? Literally. Yeah. Because if the majority of the team, let's just say hypothetically that everyone's vaccinated except for him, then he is the person holding up the team at this point.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. Now, it would be different if half the team was vaccinated and half weren't.
And exactly. I just feel like I don't know if there's if any team's just going to have the one person, you know, and maybe support might look like addressing the fact that you may not be able to play with this team. Period. Yeah. You know, so then we can all get it. Like, I'm not saying support's going to be like all of us have to sit out or all of it. Like, I have to sit here and convince you. It's like, I'm saying winning mindset. We win games here, right? And right now we have a missing link.
Yeah,
and we are not going to be a winning. I mean, I'm sure they can win without Kyrie, right? But you know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at like the team unit that I committed to. We are not a winning, committed team in integrity until you get your shit together, bro. So
honestly, the way this is moving and the way it's looking, I would not be surprised if Kyrie decides to move on with this and not get vaccinated. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets traded because of this. Like, they may be trying to trade him because this isn't the only Kyrie issue that he's had off the court. Like, during the last season, he took some time off and all of this stuff. So he's had some off-court issues. Nothing legal per se, but just some off-court stuff where he's been away from the team playing games. So we'll see how it's handled. It's going to be very interesting what the NBA looks like this year. With the
I want another Uncle Drew movie. If you get traded and you got some time, Kyrie, just give me another Uncle Drew. That shit was funny. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I think that's why I was a fan of Kyrie, and now I'm just questioning things. But I'm looking at team integrity, and I hope you feel that. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I hear what's realistic. I'm not looking at like what's realistic and what's not. I'm looking at like winning, and I'm just saying, like, are we a team?
That's what I'm saying. For winning, he might be up out of there. That's what's crazy.
Cool.
He might be up out of there, but I don't know. We'll see.
And that's what support looks like, right? I'm looking at overall team integrity.
How does that support?
I'm looking at overall team integrity.
Yeah.
If our intention is to come here and win and put money on our table, put food on our table for our families, right? As you said, our livelihood.
We'll see. But speaking of Uncle Drew and funny movies, there are some new movies coming out. So as we slide into my favorite segment of the show, No Filter.
Filter. Hold on. No, we need a good like little intro. I haven't figured it out, but like No Filter. You know, like
we need like a No Filter theme song.
Yeah, like a little song. We need a little ditty song.
No Filter jingle.
Yeah, you know, just a jingle. You know what I'm saying? It just gotta be a 5 seconds. That's all.
Yeah. But while you were gone, you might have been back actually by the time this news came out. But there is a new documentary come out from one of your favorite artists. Kanye West is dropping a documentary, a 3-part docu-series on Netflix soon. And then Britney Spears documentary coming out on I think tomorrow actually. or a couple days from now, something like that. But I wanted to know which are you more excited to see? Because I know you're a huge Kanye fan. So
you said I'm a huge Kanye fan.
Yeah, I know you love Donda.
Gosh, the lies you tell on this podcast. I'm more excited for Britney, I guess. Wow. To be honest, I'm more excited for Janet. Janet has the documentary out in January. That's who I'm most excited to see.
Neither one of those.
Like, I've seen Janet twice in concert. I think she is one of the best artists of just like all time. I think what she's done for music is just like incredible, and like this is regardless of her family. Like, just like she is so good. And she's had just a wild career that I think was derailed not by her hands, and she never really got justice for that. Like, she was barred from television networks after that whole Super Bowl thing, and it's like, it's not like you chose to show the world your body. Like, that was definitely like, but Justin gets to go and be like the biggest pop star in the world. Like, so I have issues there. I just have like her story like is beautiful, and also just has like these layers of oppression that are, despite your family lineage, despite you being incredibly talented, the world still shows you that like you're a woman, you're a Black woman, you're all these things. And I just feel like she's had a beautiful career, but she's also like not gotten the flowers and I think the accolades and the platform that she really deserves.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
And then I'd probably say I am most excited then to see the Britney one, because I just want to see Britney get free. Big free. I know she's like marrying that one dude from the other documentary that's like he's like mad problematic, so I'm like, oh, why are you marrying him? But like,
oh, I don't even know who that is.
See, bro, what the Britney documentary was real good. Like there was one on Netflix and one on Hulu. Bro, watch both. They were really good. The New York Times one,
I think the one on Netflix is coming out in a couple days.
No, then watch the one on Hulu. The one on Hulu was fire. The one on Hulu was really good.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
This no filter segment, I don't give a damn about the Kanye documentary. Will I watch it? Maybe. I don't know. Screw it. Screw him. I'm just tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. Like, I'm tired. And then you gonna make me sit through like a 2-hour album of very mid music. No.
Mid to low.
No.
Low lights. You said 2 hours of low lights.
Hold on. I'll pull the damn audio because I need to. Like, it's like no. I could care less about the Kanye documentary. It's just gonna be him and his team trying to paint him like he is like the savior of the universe, which he thinks he is. And it's great. And at one point I was drinking the Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? Like, at one point I was drinking the Kool-Aid for a large portion of my life. And do I still think that he is probably one of the most influential artists of my time?
Yeah.
1000%. Is he one of my like oh my God.
You want me to give you a testimony about my life?
Oh God.
And how good he's been to me. I don't know what to tell you about him.
Oh man.
The best part about that is the beat.
I love him so much.
I love it.
With every bone in my body, I love him so much because he's done so much for me. Every morning.
Love it.
That's the best part.
Love it.
Yeah, I was not feeling Kelly on that. So
no, man, like, it's just, I'm crying now, man. Like, Kanye just don't do it. And I feel like he's using God to deflect from working on himself. And he's using God and he's using his platform, which is one of the largest stages on the world, to be inaccountable for his lack of healing and for hurting people. And I think that now he's parading this only God can forgive me narrative as an excuse to go do very hurtful things to communities, to celebrate predators and homophobic people, DaBaby, Marilyn Manson, just saying, like, who have notable, like, not hidden, like, notable biases and things that they're dealing with. And it's like, you're going to put these things on a stage to almost say, like, exactly, we're all sinners, only God can forgive. That doesn't mean don't have sense, bruh. And he's just continued to just, I don't know, just be this ego maniac, man. And I know people have been saying that for years, and it's just like, I hate to even say it, because it's like, I want him to be okay. I want him to heal. Like, Sarah's going off 100%. I want him to heal, you know, and this whole full circle moment of calling this album Donda is like, is this finally his send off? Is this his moment of healing? But sonically, I don't hear it. I hear what he's trying to do, but like I don't know. I highly likely right now, I would, in the mood that I feel about Kanye, I probably would turn the documentary off halfway through if it is what I expect it to be.
Man, I do agree. Sarah, our producer, said that he's still healing from losing his mom. I do agree with that.
We've been saying that
but
for 15 years now, man.
Yeah, agree with Malcolm too. Like, we got to stop giving him a pass for that. Like, you are too big. You got too much money to not go get some help, man.
And like, you see how easy it was just for like, right when it seemed like he was losing everything, then it's just like God, and it's like now you're able to go get the evangelical crowd. Like it seems like just very non-coincidental strategy.
Yeah,
that I'm like, I see what you're doing, dude. You're no good as Donald Trump in the damn holding up the Bible in front of the church right now, upside down.
Yep.
What you'll make America great hat on.
Again,
I want you to heal. Like, I'm really sending loving energy, bro. Like, I don't know how many people, how many friends, how many loved ones he really has around him. Like, I sincerely pray for that, man.
Me too.
Because I go back and honestly, I'm a fan up until like the most recent albums. Like, son, like Yeezus is my shit.
Oh God, I hate that album.
When I need like it, you want to know, when you're like, oh, the body looks good. That's because I be putting Yeezus on in the gym, bro. Like I love that shit.
That's not a good album.
I love it. And it's not even up to debate. Subjectively, I adore the Yeezus album. I think sonically, narratively, what it was, because that was Kanye at his most vulnerable. That was him like saying, like, bro, my ego is splitting. And the producers he chose, Gesaffelstein, and the people that he brought into that album to just help construct that sound. And I know it wasn't what we knew of Kanye. You know what I'm saying? It was very different. But I also, 808s is very close to my heart. So I like when Kanye does very different things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Fantasy, I think, is just one of the best albums of all time. Not even his best. It's just clearly one of the best. One of my favorites from him is 808s. And then it's like, yeah, College and Graduation. Like, I love a lot of Kanye shit. I do. And it's like, none of what we have today would be possible without Kanye in pop music, in fashion, all that. The intersection of hip hop and fashion, elevating hip hop to the global stage to make it larger than rock. That is because of Kanye. And there's just no debating it. So objectively, he is the most influential of all time, like one of the most influential of all time.
Yeah.
Or in my time, I don't know. We could die and someone else can come, you know. But whatever about the documentary, man. I hope it's good. Yeah. Mose is one of my favorite rappers too, and I saw the little thing.
I know, that's what I was about to say. The trailer really had me hooked, though. That's what's making me want to watch
dope.
it.
I get it, and I love Mose. I love Mose.
Me too. I like Mose Def a lot. So.
Yassine Bey, one of my top 5. He's in my top 5, and he's not 5. Yeah. Love Yassine Bey.
But the Britney Spears one is probably gonna be really good too, because that story is crazy. So
the Britney Spears, the story in it is crazy, man. Like, you know, and like you just want, you know, what's wild. I actually shared, you know what, Secret Time, and then we're gonna wrap this damn show up. Yeah. Secret Time. I'm gonna take no filter into Secret Time. This is a new segment. Secret Time. For my 5th or 6th birthday, so yes, I'm like dating myself. Y'all figuring out my age. Some of y'all gonna be like, oh, he old. Some of y'all gonna be like, oh my God, he a baby. For my 5th or 6th birthday, wrapped in newspaper. Low-key a reason that actually I wrap. Some of my closest friends, they get presents wrapped for me. Just so y'all know, when y'all get something wrapped for me in newspaper, it's very special. It's actually very special. Some people could perceive it as like, but like when I wrap things in newspaper, it's actually for a very sincere reason. For my 5th or 6th birthday, my father, and if y'all know my father, this is like just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just very grown, just like rough ass black man. And at the time, so he's a little bit younger. My dad's like approaching 70 now. But he got me Britney Spears's Hit Me Baby One More Time album. The album where she's like on the floor with the pink background and she got like the skirt and she's like doing this. Cause like I just really fucked with some of that pop music at the time. Like, you know, whatever's on Kiss FM, whatever I'm listening to as a kid. And my parents, like, they like, of course, just tons of soul and like pop. Like, you know, my dad bought like a lot of records and CDs. So we lived at record stores, but I was on my way to like kindergarten or 1st grade. and my dad got me Britney Spears' "Hit Me Baby One More Time" album, wrapped in newspaper because he knew I fucked with. He knew I fucked with her music, and I still turned out straight. Secret time.
Wow.
Man, like I just Anyway, so I'm hyped for Britney Spears' story because man, I really fuck with Britney, man. That's like you could drop Britney in a lot of spaces, man. Like, and it just works, man. I've been in the most like, of course, like the most maybe like white spaces, the most black spaces, man. And like you could put like on "I'm a Slave for You," produced by the Neptunes, and it just goes off. People love that shit if you just mix it right, man. It's fine. Anyway. We gotta get out of here.
It's too funny. Yeah, we gotta get out of here, man.
Oh man. Thank y'all so much for listening. And listening to my crazy ass, my vulnerabilities, my high ass post retreat. I'm Malcolm Alexander.
And I am Ryan Hale. Thank you guys so much for listening. Per usual, go check us out on our social media pages anywhere on social media at Unfiltered Gems Podcast. If you're not following already, hit that follow button and catch up with us there.
10,000%. Leave a review on Apple as well. Again, it helps with our rankings, y'all. Unfiltered Gems Podcast. That's where we're at on socials. Appreciate y'all for listening.
Peace.